Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Alright, so it's 30 minutes past 9. I welcome you to another exciting edition of From the Newspaper, streaming live from the premises of JC's Hotel, Akwete, Ibadan. Good morning to you. Are listening to him 97.3 FM, where we set the agenda and project the truth. And don't forget you can watch us live on Facebook at him 97.3 FM. And as you're watching us, do well to like, comment, and share. Remember, don't forget this program is in form of 3 segments. The first segment is the weather forecast report of 3 major cities in Nigeria: the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the commercial city of Lagos, and the vibrant city of Ibadan. Where the second segment on the show is the headlines make a round of Nigerian newspaper, and as we always bring 4 newspapers to you every morning: the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, and the Nigerian Tribune. Where the last segment on the show is the details to the headlines. My name is Shakiro Akinyemi.
Audio Jungle.
So moving on to the first segment on the show, which is the weather forecast report. And the first city I'll bring on is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. At 10 a.m. in Abuja this morning is mostly sunny with 25 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m. is mostly sunny with 27 degrees Celsius. And at 12 p.m. it's mostly sunny with 28 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. is mostly sunny with 29 degrees Celsius. And at 2 p.m. is mostly sunny with 29 degrees Celsius. Upon 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. with 28 degrees Celsius, and at 6 p.m. is partly sunny with 27 degrees Celsius. At 7 p.m. is partly cloudy with 25 degrees Celsius, and at 8 p.m. is intermittent clouds with 25 degrees Celsius. At 9 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 24 degrees Celsius, and at 10 p.m. is cloudy with 23 degrees Celsius. At 11 p.m. is cloudy with 22 degrees Celsius.
Audio Jungle.
At 10 a.m. in the commercial city of Lagos, it's cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m. it's cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius, and at 12 p.m. it's cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. it's mostly cloudy with 31 degrees Celsius, and at 2 p.m. it's rain with 31 degrees Celsius. At 3 p.m. it's cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius, and at 4 p.m. it's cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius. At 5 p.m. it's rain with 28 degrees Celsius, and at 6 p.m. it's cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. At 7 p.m. is cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius, and at 8 p.m. is cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. At 9 p.m. is cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius, and at 10 p.m. is cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. Up until 11 p.m. is cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
So moving on to the last city on the first segment, which is the vibrant city of Ibadan, where we are streaming live from. At 10 a.m. in Ibadan this morning, it's cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m. it's cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius, and at 12 p.m. it's cloudy with 31 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 32 degrees Celsius, and at 2 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 33 degrees Celsius. At 3 p.m. is rain with 31 degrees Celsius, and at 4 p.m. is cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius. At 5 p.m. is cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius, and at 6 p.m. is showers with 29 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. is cloudy with 27 degrees Celsius, and at 8 p.m. is cloudy with 27 degrees Celsius. At 9 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 26 degrees Celsius, and at 10 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 25 degrees Celsius. Up until 11 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 25 degrees Celsius.
Audio Jungle.
Alright, so moving on to the second segment on the show, which is the headlines make round of Nigerian newspaper. And the first newspaper I'm bringing on is the Punch newspaper. The lead story on the Punch newspaper this morning says, COP controversy, military track 45 billion naira in NDDC. And page 2 has the detail to that story. Right to that story that says detained soldiers linked in NDDC top us probe. Sailor out of country deny link with alleged corpse, and page 2 has the detail to that story. And above the line of the Punch newspaper says Senate screening. CDS eyes foreign partnership to crush insurgency, and page 7 has the detail to that story. Tinubu revoked pardon for Sandra, 140 high-profile inmates, and page 2 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Another story on the Punch newspaper says federal government shortlist candidates for NSCDC, NIS Fire Service CPT. EFCC return houses luxury cars to victim of fraud in Oyo. Another story on the Punch newspaper says NDLEA flights for Fisher's case against Pretty Mike's club over drugs party. Jamaican face homelessness massive cleanup after Hurricane Melissa. Tinubu support help airport crash London fires to $3,000, says Onyema. Warns Nigeria against fake paramilitary equipment message.
Audio Jungle.
Another story says how new tax law affects Nigerians abroad. Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, the lead story on the Vanguard newspaper says how to fix Nigerian security challenge, says service chiefs, and page 5 has the detail to that story. While we are backing Soludo's re-election, says Onitsha residents. Vanguard newspaper says power supply. Nigeria Cement signed phase 1 power deal, 7,000 megawatts to grid, and page 20 has a detail to that story. Tinubu exclude convicts of kidnapping, drug, firearms offense from clemency list.
Audio Jungle.
Another story on the Vanguard newspaper says federal government firms seal $400 million deal to strengthen Nigeria's steel production. GTC holds PBTs up to 39% to 299 billion naira in third quarter of 2025. Trump says he was too busy to meet North Korean leaders could come back. Nigerian manufacturer stands to gain substantially, says man. So moving on to the third newspaper on the second segment, which is The Guardian. And the latest story on The Guardian says federal government backtracks on pardon as Nigerians question due process. And page 6 has a detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Service chiefs unveil ambitious plan at Senate confirmation, and page 3 has a detail to that story. Reps approved Tinubu's $2.34 billion loan, empower EFCC to seize assets without conviction, and page 3 has a detail to that story. Story on The Guardian newspaper says APC youth in Taraba rejects Governor Kefa's defection plans. Troops rescue kidnapped victim in Taraba. Another story says Lagos is Yoruba United States, says Sanwo-Olu. Zamfara PDP reacts to lawmakers' defection, says decision unwise.
Jungle.
Another story on the Guardian newspaper says Kano Assembly demand cancellation of custom equipment exercise.
Audio Jungle.
Chemical to begin mass murdering under $550 million World Bank scheme.
Audio Jungle.
Ogun government commits to economic development through road projects.
Audio Jungle.
Other story says Central to honor Makinde Zulum for supporting press freedom.
Audio Jungle.
Over 250,000 women register for Empower Her Financial Literary Program.
Audio Jungle.
Poland launches $1.1 billion investment drives in Africa.
Audio Jungle.
And the last story on the Guardian newspaper says Nigeria falls to 18th place in where to invest in African reports.
Audio Jungle.
So moving on to the last newspaper on the second segment, which is Nigerian Tribune. Another story on Nigerian Tribune says Southwest leaders, traditional ruler unites for regional process, and page 12 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
And there's one right out to that story that says Fasoroti Akande Aidatiwa Sanwo-Olu Hoda pushes for Yoruba unity development agenda, and page 12 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Federal government releases 2.3 billion naira for payment of salaries, promotion arrears in universities, and page 16 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
NMA to begin monthly psychiatric evaluation for prison inmates nationwide.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Another story on Nigerian Tribune says how her dogs die after eating food poison meant for her, says Adeboye's wife.
Audio Jungle.
Federal government releases names of shortlisted candidates for CBT. Southwest leaders, traditional rulers breathe stronger collaboration.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Another story says PTML custom collect 350 billion naira revenue in 9 months.
Audio Jungle.
No going back on government support for indigenous shipping, says Oyetola.
Audio Jungle.
30 years anniversary, Port News to honor MPA floor mines orders.
Audio Jungle.
APM terminals donate medical equipment to healthcare center in Lagos.
Audio Jungle.
Anambra election, violence will be met with strong and uncompromising response, says NSA.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
And the last story on Nigerian Tribune says, what we are doing to get Nigeria refineries back on track, says NNPC Ojulari.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Alright, so we have come to the end of the second segment. Before we divert into the last segment, let's go on a break. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
Gbogbo ará ilé èrò ọ̀nà ẹ wá gbọ́ o. MFM rédíò ni ẹ mọ̀ ń gbọ́ lójoojúmọ́ nígbà gbogbo. Ìròyìn àsìkò lọ́lọ́kan-ò-jọ̀kan, eré ìdárayá, orin tó dùn gbọ́sẹ̀ tí àtàwọn ètò tí ń kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Ẹ gbọ́ wa kétékété lórí ayélujára wọ̀nyí, lórí Facebook àti MFM TV, lórí Twitter àti MFM TV, lórí Instagram àti MFM TV, pẹ̀lú YouTube àti MFM TV. Ilé ìtura The Ace àwọn tó lápẹ́tẹ́ nílùú Ìbàdàn lákàlẹ̀ sí o. Fún ìpolówó ọjà iléeṣẹ́ yín, ẹ lè pè wá sórí nọ́mbà wọ̀nyí o. 081591942 àti 47. Ẹ tún lè pè wá sórí aago yìí o. 080224841 pẹ̀lú 24 ni ẹ pè sí o. Mọ́mí àti dádì, ẹ jọ̀wọ́ MFM ni ẹ mọ̀ gbọ́ lójoojúmọ́ nígbà gbogbo.
ọ̀tọ̀ ni gbogbo ọ̀yà ni ó mọ̀ pera rẹ̀ lódù bó bá jẹ́ níbi tí ká bá ní ra mọ́tò láti òkè òkun tàbí ó fẹ́ ra ojúlówó mọ́tò ilé tí ó já lálòpẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ mọ́tò Onabis Automobile òní oyè àkànṣí eléyìí tó kalẹ̀ sí kìlómítà 8 Old Ife Road àdójúkọ ilé ìtajà àgbàlódé Brent sọ́ọ̀mì nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn bóyá ẹ̀yin fẹ́ ra mọ́tò tàbí ẹ fẹ́ gbé mọ́tò ránṣẹ́ láti ilẹ̀ òkèrè sórílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà kódà orí ọ̀fẹ́ wà láti bá yín ṣe àmójútó láti bá yín ṣe àyẹ̀wò sí mọ́tò yín iléeṣẹ́ Onabis Automobile ohun gẹ́gẹ́ ni mò ń pè níyàn o ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ni 0803 371 0636 0803 371 0636 Onabis Automobile boom 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 boom.
The Aces Hotels and Conference Center is one and only event place with a clear difference and tasteful excellence here in the ancient city of Ibadan. For your next and upcoming event, whether marriage engagement, wedding reception, anniversaries, conferences, seminars, or birthday, the Aces Hotels and Conference Center is affordable and fully equipped with all imaginable ultra-modern facilities for your total convenience without headache, security, power, environment, parking space, and royal service by their staff. All roads lead to the Aces Hotel and Conference Center today at number 2.5 Ijokodo Akbete Akufo Road, Akere, Ibadan. For booking and more information, call 080-8746-7420, 080-9744-1898, or 080-2869-0012. The Aces Hotels and Conference Center, where comfortability speaks than words.
FM fún ìdálárayá, ètò àsìkò, ìkọ́nilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìgbà gbogbo. FM ní kẹ́ ẹ máa gbọ́, ẹ má gbé kúrò níbẹ̀ nígbà gbogbo. Ẹni tó bá níjó tí ò jó, ẹni tó bá ráyọ̀ tí ò yọ̀, ọjọ́ tí ò pẹ́ ní ó sunra rẹ̀ láwọ̀ ara. FM ló ní kẹ́ ẹ níjó kẹ́ ẹ jó, kẹ́ ẹ ráyọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ sì máa yọ̀. FM ni ẹ máa gbọ́, ni ẹ máa wò nígbà gbogbo.
Audio Jungle.
Alright, so welcome back to the show. It's still from the newspaper. Don't forget you can watch us live on Facebook at him97.3 FM. And as watching us, do well to like, comment, and share. We are now in the last segment of from the newspaper this morning, which is the details to the headlines. And first, I'll bring in on this morning 6. Military track 45 billion naira in NDDC. The military investigation into the alleged co-plot was reportedly uncovered a trail of 45 billion naira disbursed from the bank accounts of the Niger Delta Development Commission to some political exposed person and the soldiers detained in connection with the rumors conspiracy to the topple President Bola Tinubu administration. Earlier this month, Shara reported that 16 Nigerian army officers were detained for allegedly planning a coup d'etat to overthrow President Bola Tinubu. The online newspaper has linked the alleged coups to the cancellation of Nigeria's 65th Independence Day by the federal government. However, the military, in a statement by the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tokar Gausu, denied that the report linking in detention of the 16 military officers to field corps. The development set off panic alarm at the NDDC headquarters over alleged link to the financing of subversive activities. The federal government has also denied the coup plot against Tinubu administration. The defense headquarters described reports of a coup attempt as a false, misleading, and malicious, and stated that 16 military officers in custody are being investigated for professional misconduct, not a coup plot. While detail of the interrogation of the NDDC official remained unclear, investigators said that but screening a series of high-value transactions carried out in the recent months allegedly linking to political exposure person. They include a short-line project awarded to former governor in the south-south of the tune of the 45 billion naira, some of which the alleged fund in its way to the account of some of the detained officers. Security sources with the knowledge of the ongoing probe confirmed that the interrogation of the NCC top shoot was part of the broader intelligence-based inquiry into the movement of public funds. Sources in the NDDC disclosed to the Punch that many top officials are apprehensive that developments may trigger a broader probe into the Commission financial dealings. They affirmed that the invitation of the NDDC executive has triggered widespread anxiety among senior officials. According to the one insider who spoke to the condition of anonymity, since the news broke about the interrogation of the short tops, the atmosphere here has been uneasy. Some executive director who will remain close administrative ties with the embattled NDDC top shoot are said to be worried about development. Development has sparked intense speculation within the commissions, with the staff expressing concerns that the investigation could widen and implicate other senior officials. The NDDC spokesperson, Celede Thompson Wakama, declared that the comment was asked about the squeezing of the commission officials. Meanwhile, Silva has denied alleged involvement in the court plot. The Special Assistant of Media and Public Affairs, Chief Julius Bokuru, said the rumors in some quarters is in the hard work of desperate and self-seeking politicians trying to actualize their ambitions in 2027. On Wednesday, the Punch reports how Sheila Abuja homes was raided by the Defense Intelligence Agency, operative and probing the controversial plot to forcefully change the government. During the raid, which took place on Saturday, the operative arrested Silva, younger brother Paga, who is Special Assistant of Domestic Affairs, and also took his driver into custody. The former Bayelsa governor and All Progressive Congress chieftain was outside the country during the operation. The media-headed disclosed that the operative did not remove anything from Sheila Abuja residence during the operation, noting that the two men that were arrested have yet to be released from custody. Bokoru explained that no reason was provided for the raid. He further clarified that the former governor's Yanagwa residence was not raided by the operative.
Audio Jungle.
CDSI foreign partnership to crush insurgency. Nigeria's newly appointed service chiefs on Wednesday pleaded to overhaul the nation's security architecture through the strategic foreign partnership, local arms production, interagency collaboration, and improved personnel welfare. They made the pledge on Wednesday during their screening exercise by the State and House of Representatives. The screening, which held simultaneously at both chambers of the National Assembly, was marked by rigorous questioning, closed-door season, and commitment by the officers to reposition the armed forces of modern warfare and sustain internal security. Appearing before members of the Senate House of Committee of Defense, Army, Navy, and Air Force, Chief of Defense Staff Lt. General Olufemi Oluyede said his years of exposure to national security issues has prepared him for the complex task of defending Nigeria. Oluyede was emphasizing the need for intelligence-led operations and recruitment for the police to handle internal duty. Also warned new threats such as cyber warfare and misinformation. The Chief of Army Staff, Man General Waidi Shoaibu, pledged to inject fresh energy into military operations, improve intelligence gathering, and strengthen manpower. He also backed the declaration of repentance insurgency, but held the greater sensitive to the feelings of victim families. For the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Kendi Aneke, innovation and discipline would define its leadership. Tinubu has took on Monday met the officers in the closed-door season in the villa, where he changed them to the decisive action against insurgents and bandits in the north. Last Friday, the president announced a sweeping reshuffle in the military hierarchy in furtherance of efforts to strengthen the national security architecture. The statement as Special Advisor on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dare, expressed appreciation to the outgoing service chiefs and charged their successors to justify the confidence response to them in true professionalism and unity. With legislative confirmation concluded, all eyes are now on the new military high command as they assure their posts, tasked with the Oracle mission to restoring peace and sustainable to the nation, wherein by years of insurgency, banditry, and raiding its security.
Audio Jungle.
Federal government shortlist candidates for NSCDC, NIS Fire Service CBT. The Civil Defense Conscription Service and Immigration Service Board has released the names of candidates shortlisted for the Parliamentary Agency Recruitment Computer-Based Test. In this contained in a statement by the Secretary of the Board, retired Major General Abdulmalik Jubril, on Wednesday in Abuja, the new agency of Nigeria reported that the agency are in the Nigerian Correctional Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, Federal Fire Service, and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. The statement enjoined applicants to take note of the correct portal address highlighted to avoid being scammed.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Another story says NDLEA fights for futures case against Pretty Mike's Club over drugs party. The chief man or chief executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Baba Mara, has disclosed that the agency has filed a forfeiture suit against Lagos nightclub owned by socialite Mike Nwogu, popularly known as Pretty Mike. The agency has on Sunday raided a drug party held at Proxy nightclub located at 7 Akinadeshola Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, where operators arrested over 100 attendants clubbing in the club, owner and his manager, Joachim Milari. In the update issued on Tuesday, the agency director of media and advocacy, Femi Babafemi, said the uncover operative infiltrated the club, made the pre-purchases of illicit drug and monitored activities for about 4 hours before storming the premises between 11 p.m. on Saturday and 3 a.m. on Sunday. Babafemi said the operative recovered 384.886 kilometers of Canadian loud, a potent strain of cannabis and other illicit substances from the club storage area. Speaking during the NDLA's annual commendation and award ceremony in Abuja, where 15 senior officers were decorated with the new rank and several personnel recognized for outstanding performance, Mawa said the forfeiture suit followed the raid after club owners brazenly advertised the drug party, openly encouraging patrons to indulge in drugs. According to him, the agency will not allow a culture of impunity to take root in the entertainment sector or any part of the country. Mawa also highlighted the agency achievements in the last 30 months, stating that the NDLEA recorded 45,253 arrests, seized over 8.5 billion kilometers of assorted illicit drug, secured 9,326 convictions and rehabilitated 26,313 drugs users. He urged the agency to conduct 9,348 war against drug abuse sensitization campaign nationwide within the same period. While commending officers of their dedication despite risks and temptation, Mawa said the agency rewarded and recognition system has strengthened morale of the improved operational outcomes. NSCDC deploys 10,000 personnel for Anambra government pool. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has deployed over 10,000 operatives to ensure adequate security during the forthcoming Anambra State governorship election scheduled for November 8th. The Commandant General of the Corps, Professor Ahmad Audi, ordered the deployment, which includes tactical force from the Corps National Headquarters in Abuja. The move, according to NSCDC spokesperson Afolabi Babawale, is part of efforts to support the Nigerian Police Force, which is the lead agency for election security. Babawale told Punch Online on Thursday that the development was aimed at maintaining peace and guarantee a credible electoral process. He added that the Commandant General had addressed the state commandant and head of tactical squad, warning politicians at their support against any action or statement capable of inciting violence before, during, or after the election. He explained that the developments align with the resolution of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. The spokesperson noted that the Corps, alongside other security agencies, will monitor the election process and provide protection for electoral material and officials on duty. Officers, he added, has been instructed to carry out their duties professionally and respect citizens' fundamental human rights. In a related development, the Nigerian Police Force announced that the plan deployed 45,000 officers across Anambra State for the election. The force also stated the vigilante group would not be allowed to operate during the exercise. Earlier on Tuesday, during the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security meeting held in Abuja, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amokwiton, commended security agencies for their efforts in ensuring safe environment for the upcoming polls. He said that coordinating patrol and strategic developments will help guarantee peaceful conduct before and during the election. INEC disclosed that about 2.8 million registered voters are expected to participate in the poll, while 11 out of 13 scheduled pre-election activities have already been completed. Among the remaining key activities, the conclusion of political campaign on November 6th and the governorship election itself on November 8th.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Jungle.
And the last story on the show this morning says Tinubu approves 15% import duty on petrol and diesel. President Bola Tinubu has approved the introduction of 15% and vanilla import duty on petrol and diesel imports into Nigeria. The initiative is aimed of protecting local refineries and stabilizing the downstream market, but is likely to raise on pump price. In a letter dated October 21, 2025, reported publicly on October 30, 2025, and addressed to the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Tinubu directed immediate implementation of the tariff as part of what the government described as a market-responsive import tariff framework. In the letter signed by his private secretary, Damilotun Aderemi, as obtained by the Punch correspondent on Wednesday, conveyed the president's approval following the proposal by the executive chairman of the FES, Zak Adedeji. The proposal sought the application of 15% duty on the cost, ensuring certified value of import petrol and diesel to align import costs with domestic market realities. Adedeji, in his memo to the president, explained that the measure was part of the ongoing reform to boost local refinery, ensuring the price stability and strengthening the naira-based oil economy in line with the administration renewal agenda for the energy security and fiscal sustainability.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Alright, so we have come to the end of From the Newspaper. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for staying tuned. My name is Shakiro Akiemi. Have a great day ahead.